All
Where
right.
am I? Okay. I didn't even look. Hi, Ed.
All right. I'm going to call the meeting to order and let's do a roll call.
Sure. Committee Member Winterson,
Here?
Committee Member Herman,
Here.
Committee Member Dukes,
Here.
and Committee Member Musgrave.
Here.
Thank you.
Okay. Does anybody want to move to approve the minutes?
I so move.
Okay.
I second.
Thank you. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Hearing none. Public comment? No public.
You still have to say it though.
Yep, public comment. No public.
Nobody on Zoom, so we're good.
All right. Old business none, new business none. Reports and communication. I actually did have a question for you all. With the clawbacks of grant funds for energy projects, do we know if any of those are going to be affecting the city?
I don't know off the top of my head, but it's something we can look into.
And is there some action we could take to help? I know it's kind of above all of our heads, but
Yeah, I can look into it. Are you familiar with any like specific ones that
I know specifically they're clawing back things. I mean, some of them are more at the federal level for like rooftop solar for individuals, but I'm wondering if that also affects like plans that the city has for solar installations and battery backup systems.
Yeah, I can look into it.
Because I know there's a lot of
do
clawback
you have
on
any?
alternative energy right now.
All right, yeah, that
Do you have anything, Matt?
No, I haven't heard of anything either.
I can tell you that 350 Humboldt is really pursuing trying to get information out via RCEA about the deadlines specifically for EVs. And the idea is to let people know that that's ending in September, and that if they have been on the fence about getting an EV or thinking about it, now is the time to act. Home improvement, energy efficient federal incentives are going to end for the most part, at the end of December, at the end of the tax year. And we're trying really hard to get some kind of in conjunction with RCEA, and I'd love to have the city of Eureka involved also, having some kind of an informal get-together, not a top-down, these are the technicalities, here is my slide deck, I'm telling you everything, but more like getting people together who have, who have already invested in some of these things, who have experience in real life with EVs, with heat pumps, with heat pump hot water heaters, with solar panels, with, whatever they're trying to get rid of now. And I can let you all know via notes or communication with you all as soon as I hear back. I've got a message into Beth Burks, who will be in the office tomorrow morning. And the people I talk to at RCEA are very involved in this. But I would love to have, this is a group effort, we would love to have as many co-sponsors, perhaps helping with meeting space or something like that, as possible. And because the EV allowance is going away in September, we need to get right on this, because this is geared toward people who are kind of on the fence and may or may not be aware that a huge incentive is going away.
Unrelated, I would totally like to get with you on that offline. I have ideas for meeting spaces.
Okay.
Unrelated to the Eureka Energy Committee. All right. Reports and communications. Discussion on committee goals and action items for 2025. Yes.
I apologize for not being here the last 2 months, but I was wondering if the letter had gone out from Mayor Burgell about supporting the fossil fuel nonproliferation.
It did.
Yep, I submitted everything online to the website, so Eureka shows on there now, and they said they would reach out if there was any other like follow-up steps for the city to do.
Thank you very much.
And then I have been here, so I have no excuse. But I would be down to meet with somebody on staff to discuss energy code enforcement and just like kind of like, I don't know how we could possibly help with that, because I'm sure there's pains. There's always pains, especially for rural communities. A lot of the times the energy code kind of cuts against us. So is there somebody that would be appropriate for that? I know it used to be Brian Gerving, but I'm guessing it's not him anymore. Open?
I think that would fall under building department and building inspection.
So who would that be? Sorry.
That would be Brendan Riley.
Brendan Riley. Okay.
Yeah, and you can reach out to me, and I can
Okay.
talk to him about.
That
You know,
sounds
we have
good.
a whole code enforcement department or group, and we can work together on that.
Sweet. Thank you.
Yeah, mostly for this section, we didn't have a lot to put, on the agenda. So thought we could take this time to look at the goals and, look out for the future of 2025 and what are some kind of action items we could be working on.
I love the idea of SCM, but I did do a little looking into it, and it is, I think, a little unduly expensive for our means. So I suspect that that one will be a very high lift. And we might want to wait until we have an administration that's more inclined to help with things like that, because I don't think we as a locality could float it without help from state and federal. And with
Yeah, I had looked into that a little bit as well, and it didn't seem like there were, well, readily available alternatives, maybe at price, but certainly not readily available that would meet standards and codes, and it seemed like it would be, a sort of rough going.
yeah, a heavy lift. So I think we could probably table the SCM.
Okay, we can do that.
I mean, the only other, looking at it from the other end, it might be of some interest to know how much concrete the city uses and in what sorts of applications, just to see if there was any possible fit. But
I think it's quite a bit would be
yeah,
the answer.
But
yeah.
a source from that might be, that'd be the only next step or other step, sort of looking at it from the other end. But yeah, I had a pretty negative impression of what was available in terms of.
I always bring a pen and I forgot it. Can I borrow a pen from someone? Sorry. Thank you. I can actually ask the buildings guy that question, correct? That seems like appropriate to ask him about how much cement we use and what materials.
Like for the city projects.
I would think it
Our
maybe
department
be-
might know better based on our projects. Yeah, I guess it would depend. I mean, there's probably a lot of private work that we wouldn't be tracking, but if it was city projects, we could.
I would think the streets are going to be the main thing.
Yeah,
so.
that my thought it would be like streets and curbs, which maybe don't have as stringent a requirement, so maybe there is a little bit
I mean,
of a
we're
possible window. for
actively
something there.
doing the Myrtle street paving project. So, I mean, that project alone, we could probably get you that information pretty easily.
Yeah, I think anything that's run through the engineering department or through public works, we could provide that. But anything that's run privately, that would be tougher to get.
And what? Sorry. So it's the building department. What was his name again? Sorry,
Brendan Riley,
Brendan Riley.
I
Okay.
believe his
Thank
title
you.
is Chief Building Official.
Chief building official. Okay. Does anybody have anything else? Electrifying the fleet. Is it still? Oh, I forget his name. Is it the same person still in charge of the fleet?
It was Rob McNamara. Now it is. There's Ryan, I believe, in Thompson
Okay.
with the city, and then Kelly Allen oversees the whole public works department.
Okay. The fleet's under Public Works. And does that include the police?
It does. They do all the ordering for the police with a lot of input from the police department.
I'm sure.
But yeah, Public Works does
Okay.
do all of theirs and maintains and.
Okay. Thank you.
I had started to look into the level 2 EV chargers. I need to do more work on that. I got swamped by other work.
Yeah, I think that might be starting with PG&E.
Yeah, I was
Just a
also
phone call to them to
considering
ask 'em.
calling another city that had done it to see what
That's
it looked
smart.
like. Again, they're looking at both ends.
See
So
what it
that
looks
was-
like.
That was the thing.
Does anybody else have anything?
Again, I apologize for being out of town for the last 2 meetings. You had started to get me together with people who could get me a list of what the city's doing with the idea of publicizing it. Can I get back to you next week?
Yeah, yes, absolutely. And where we left off, this was for the working with waste management and the composting, correct?
No, this is the first one, publicize the energy saving.
Oh, that one. Okay.
The idea of, you as citizens might not know what we're already doing.
yeah.
Yay us. Aren't you proud to be a citizen of Eureka?
But yeah, when that works, you can get back to me on that. And with the composting one, last I checked in, it was still city and all the different government agencies working with waste management, but with the goal to roll that out here soon. So
It
when
is-
that comes, I think we'll have.
Yeah, that's
is
kind of the same
prohibitively
answer I
expensive.
got, was defined soon.
Yeah.
It is prohibitively expensive, and most rural communities in California are having issues with the requirement.
Yeah.
So that is not surprising. Are they still looking at the old Humboldt Waste Management site in Eureka on the 101? Do you guys know?
That I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's
Is that still the site? Okay.
the idea. I mean,
It doesn't seem very doable, but hey, it's not very large.
Yeah. Look at the wrong thing. Deborah, the director of sustainability. Now that you're back, maybe you and I should have some email or a chat about where we both have our name on that. Maybe we should.
on what?
The item there that says director.
Oh,
of
right,
Sustainability.
sorry. Yes, we should.
Yeah, let's talk about that separately. It doesn't
Yes.
violate the Brown Act. It's just two of us, right?
It's a subcommittee, so
Okay,
it's
all right.
legit.
Fine.
Okay.
And then, Ed, have you worked at all on the research process of encouraging private businesses to explore solar panels over large parking lots?
I've looked at some of that, yeah. Mhm.
I was thinking about contacting Costco because I know they do that at some of their sites. So that seemed like an easier lift maybe than some. And even though we're a small area, we are a training facility for Costco, so they might be willing to invest a little. It's
Oh,
possible.
didn't know what is a training?
So when they have new managers hired, they will send them to our site to train.
Oh, that explains some things.
Yeah. So we probably won't ever lose this Costco, fingers crossed.
But you can sell it as a net cost savings, at least on some time scale. So,
Yep.
yeah, okay.
And I know they use them at other sites, but those sites tend to be a bit sunnier than we are. So
Yeah, there is that. Okay.
there is that. Ed, did you have anybody specific in mind that you were looking at?
No, it's just places that have started to use that.
Any examples?
I'm sorry?
Any examples?
No, not really.
Okay. Do you want to talk to Target?
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to try and contact Target, and I'll try and contact Costco.
I think I noticed Target just installed a bunch of the charging stations for vehicles.
Here?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, neat.
Yeah. On the west end of the parking lot. They were doing construction for a while. I couldn't figure out what it was going
There's
on.
Tesla chargers, right?
I
Yeah,
believe it
happen
is.
to be there.
Oh,
Yeah. Although now you can get widgets to charge off of. I think you can get.
Yeah, you
get
can.
widgets to.
you can
to
get
make them
adapters if you want
Yeah.
to give Elon
Adapters.
any more money.
Yeah. I don't know
Well,
if it's specific
yeah.
to Tesla or what, but I just noticed there was something
Tesla.
that went up.
Tesla chargers are specific to Teslas
Okay.
unless other people buy adapters and upgrade their software so that they can pay Tesla to charge there.
And then that would be Tesla putting in the chargers, technically.
Yeah.
Not Target, because the nice thing for the business is they don't have to pay for it. But yeah, so I think it's still worth talking to Target about that. And then I'm trying to think if y'all have any other ideas of businesses. I'm trying to think of who else. Maybe like a brewery? I think Eel River has solar panels. Maybe Lost Coast?
Lost Coast, south of town,
Do they
has a
have-
fairly big parking
have-
lot. They might.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. All right, I could hit them up. What the heck? Doesn't hurt.
You might not want to mention the in-town parking lot.
No, I won't do that. Well, and also that's where their brewery functions, is the south one. So
Right,
that's
right.
where they'd really see the energy savings. Any other large businesses locally we can think of? Maybe Health Sport. Health Sport uses a lot of energy.
That one is in the county. I don't know. I mean,
Oh, that
it is
county,
Eureka,
isn't
but
it? Oh, you're right. That's not technically
Yeah.
Eureka. That's county. Well, you know what?
I don't know
I'm
how
not
much-
technically Eureka. I'm technically county.
There
I'm
you
the
go.
at-large, like whatever the title is. So I think it's still appropriate.
yeah, I mean, it still works, but it is a little outside of our jurisdiction.
Ed, do you want to contact PG&E and ask them?
Oh, okay.
Because PG&E could. There's that. I mean, again, a little outside our jurisdiction, but they have like in Myrtletown, they have that spot that would be good for it.
Oh, the yard over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. What
Yeah, it's
about
just-
like even Safeway? I mean, that's a big parking. lot.
Safeway's a good one. You want to hit up Safeway?
Okay.
All right. So Ed, you're going to do Target,
County.
PG&E, and Safeway, and I will do Costco, Lost Coast Brewery, and Health Sport. All right.
May I ask a question? I know buying new fleet vehicles is a time-consuming project. Is there any way of getting any EVs? Because leases apply also before the end of September, when the incentives go away. Do you know?
I don't know on their timeline. I know they just outfitted a lot of the city with new vehicles. I don't know where in the rotation, new vehicle needs are, but it's something I could ask.
Yeah, I know several people, individuals, not cities or businesses, who are really speeding up their adoption of EVs just because they want $7,500.
Anything else? Brittany, do you have anything?
Nope. But I was just thinking, I mean, this could fall down into the future agenda items, but just forecasting out into the next couple months of meetings. Is everybody going to be here for August? And do we have, actionable items for the agenda? And also September meeting falls on a holiday, so there will not be a September meeting. So I just wanted to put that out there now.
So for August, I will definitely have a report out on some of these.
Okay.
And I'm hoping other folks will as
will
well.
I.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm hoping all 4 of us will have a report out for the August meeting.
Okay.
1 month seems like enough time for us to do something on this.
Yeah.
And there's no way I'm going to South Georgia in August. That ain't going to happen. So,
Yeah. So then if you have any specific items, email me and I can make sure to bullet point those on the agenda and make it pretty clear what we're discussing.
Sweet. That sounds good. So hopefully folks can, including myself in this group, come up with at least one thing on here that they can attack before August, and then get an email out to Brittany 1 week prior to the meeting with like just a vague outline of what you'll be discussing at the meeting. And if you have anything actionable that arises, make sure to get that to
Yep.
Brittany as well.
Yep.
So it can get on the agenda.
Yeah, I need to get the agenda out the Friday before the meeting at the latest. So if I could have it maybe by Wednesday when I do the roll call check-in.
Ideally by Monday, but
Yeah, that Monday would be great.
Okay. Well, I am going to adjourn the meeting then with no further items. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.